Hi there, this is Tim Gallons, and we are so excited today to be having with us again Krause Family Ford's Miss Sydney Kuester. Did I say that right, Sydney?
Got it.
Did I say it correct? Sydney Kuester? All right. Sydney is the social media expert for Krause Family Ford, actually Krause Automotive Group, right?
Correct.
So you have how many dealers that you work with?
So I work with the 9 Georgia stores that the
Wow.
Krause Auto Group has. They have a total of 32 right now.
32.
But I'm just over the 9 in Georgia.
Wow.
I say just 9, but
Yeah,
it's,
just 9, right?
Yeah.
That's just 9. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That is a lot of folks. That's a lot of folks. You know a lot of people, don't you, having to deal with
My
9
contact
different...
list is full. It's always, I've always
bet.
got somebody calling, but I
bet.
absolutely love it.
Okay, Sydney, what we're going to do today is I'm going to ask you questions from 3 categories, okay?
Okay.
So we've got about 15 questions or so. Cool. But once again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, such a good time. Okay, Sydney, so the first question I have for you, this is with regards to strategy and brand voice across multiple dealerships.
Okay.
I think our listeners would be very interested in how in the world do you do social media for 9 dealerships? Wow, that's incredible. So that's the big picture. The first category is going to be the big picture questions, okay?
Okay.
So when you're managing 9 completely different dealerships, right? Different brands, they have different brands. It's not all just Krause, like Krause Family Ford, right?
Nope.
It's not all, it's different brands, different markets, different customer demographics. How do you decide what the unique personality or voice is for each one, and how do you keep them from all sounding the same?
Well, I have currently 4 brands that I work under. So it's Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Genesis. Actually, I have 5, and Mercedes-Benz.
You forgot, didn't you?
I know. I can never keep up.
Yeah.
But obviously each brand is very, very different. So you have some of them that are the more luxury brands like Lincoln, Genesis, and Mercedes. And then you have some that are for the everyday person, Ford, Hyundai, things like that.
Right.
So it's definitely very methodical in making sure that you are talking to the correct audience and not giving them things that they don't care about.
Right.
They want to see things on their social media that relate to them.
Right.
Which something that really has been important to a lot of our dealerships and has really gained traction is pictures of customers. Pictures of after you are out of finance and you have signed everything and we give you the keys to that car, we ask to take a picture of you.
Okay.
It gives the brand not only a voice, but it also gives the individual dealership a voice. But it also echoes back into the main brand because each brand has their own, they send out all of their promotions that we can use, but individualizing yourself and setting yourself apart is really important. So that's what I try and do for each dealership is make sure that their customer base knows that they're part of the family.
I see. So you're saying each dealership has its own unique customer base. Interesting. Okay.
I think that's definitely helped me in kind of understanding and making sure that I'm posting the correct content because some people want to see that somebody else has had a good experience buying that car. Other people, it's just, okay, I'm going to a car dealership. I don't really, care what is going to happen. I know what car I want to buy, X, Y, and Z, and they're out of there. Some people, they want a more personal experience.
So like a Hyundai customer is very different than a Gravity. Was it Gravity Motors? They own
Genesis.
that. Genesis, yeah. Like a Genesis is very different than a Hyundai. Then it's very different than a Porsche customer.
Absolutely.
Right. Those are all different types of people. Yeah. I got you.
Because Genesis customers, they want the luxury experience.
Right.
They want all of the bells and whistles, and they want their service to be seamless, and they want just the little minute details that really are important. Hyundai people come in and their customer base wants a car that's safe, protective for their family, carries everyone, things like that. So those are the things that are more important to them. So we try and cater more of the family kind of feel that you definitely get at Ford to a Hyundai store, for example. But a luxury brand, it's more of the luxury promotions, showing them the features, things like that. That's kind of where that specializes in.
I see. Okay, that's good. So how do you balance pushing corporate manufacturer content, okay, which in my opinion often is very dry,
Yes.
okay, and mandatory too. They require the dealers to push this, this stuff across their, social media platforms. They require that, right? With creating, how do you do that with creating posts that are actually stop the scroll? You know what I mean by stop the scroll? Like stop the scroll and feel local, authentic to each store. How do you create local, appealing, authentic content for each store?
Obviously, you have your corporate content that is required. A lot of Ford content is, they give you a really wide variety, which is really nice. So you can kind of pick and choose the things you want to add.
Kind of pick and choose, yeah.
Absolutely. Right. And when there's an event, a sales event, or a promotion going on, those things are required. But I think that making the differentiation between those is posting things that make it feel like family. I think that especially with what we've done in the past year with outreach has been incredible, and that's my favorite thing to post.
Yeah.
Is showing the people that
content.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the organicness and the
truthfulness, the authentic
Absolutely.
Content.
Because seeing the same stock the same stock photo of a truck, it can get monotonous.
Yeah.
And so I obviously use that corporate content because it's required, and I make sure that I am within protocol. But showing people pictures of customers of new models we have in that are on our lot, not just like a Ford has released a new model and it's there, it's the ones that are on our lot to show people. Those Hennessy line of cars, not all Ford stores have those, and so I've been making sure to post those because that brings in a specific target audience, things like that.
So Sydney, another question for you is, walk me through, how do you build a 30-day content strategy when you have 9 rooftops? Okay, do you use one master calendar to manage this, or do you use separate calendars? Do you have a hybrid calendar? How in the world do you manage 9 dealerships and be effective? How do you do that?
I mean, it is not easy, I will say. When I started, I tried a few different platforms to kind of see if that was the way to do it, but it was, each dealership has a Facebook, Instagram. It gets convoluted. So I just use Meta, their platforms, and I go in and I physically post everything myself, which is taxing, but it is easier for me to check things off my list. I break down the dealerships as well into regular versus luxury brands. So Ford, Hyundai, and then our automotive group, Krause Auto Group. I post those on Monday and Wednesday. Okay. And then our luxury brands, Genesis, Lincoln, and Mercedes-Benz, I post those on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it breaks it up. And then if we have events and things like that, I will post that through the weekend to kind of round it out.
So do you ever sleep?
No, I don't. I'm in my car all the time. My car, it looks like I live there for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
It's a hot mess,
I bet.
It keeps you on my toes, and I'm not one to sit around. And when I have a Saturday where I'm not doing anything, I feel like I've wasted the day.
You feel like you feel anxious,
and
don't
the
you?
dog's
Yeah, like,
looking
okay,
at
what
me
do I need to do next?
What are we doing? I thought you were going to be gone today.
Right, yeah.
So it's definitely, it is a challenge sometimes because I feel like I'm go. But I also love it because I get to meet people. I get to see 9 different dealership groups of people each week. So it's refreshing, and it keeps the relationships kind of fresh and new, which I really enjoy. And that's my favorite part about going to work is the people.
Yeah.
And so I think that it just has kind of developed my professional skills, but also my personal skills. Yeah. So it's amazing.
That's really cool. That's really interesting. What's your process for getting buy-in, from 9 different GMs or marketing directors, all who think that their dealership should get the best content? How in the world do you balance 9 different personalities, 9 different directors, maybe marketing directors or whatever? How do you balance that? How do you make them feel like you're giving them the best content?
Well, in the beginning it was difficult because I had to kind of feel out each management style. Everyone is different. Some general managers, especially in automotive, they don't care about social media. That's just not on top of their radar. They're wanting to make sure that their leads are coming in and that they're selling, which totally makes sense. Some of my general managers, which I've been really lucky, have been kind of giving me the creative reins and just said, just whatever you do, just post. We just want people to see our content. So I think that making that differentiation in the beginning was really important. But it is a challenge. I try to go to each dealership every week, which, like we said before, I don't sleep. But I kind of pick their brains every time I'm there
Yeah.
to see if there's anything that they want pushed.
Right.
In the beginning, I was trying like really hard to make sure that if they needed, I didn't really know if I was going to be pushing sales or if I was going to be pushing branding.
Right.
So once I established that with each general manager, it kind of gave me an idea of exactly the content they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I just make sure to do a check-in with every time
Yeah.
I'm there.
Okay.
Am I missing anything? Do you need anything pulled from
That's good.
social to put on your website?
That's good.
Do you need any outreach done?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know they're lucky to have someone like you.
well, thank
I
you.
tell you,
appreciate
that
it.
would be, every organization needs someone like you pushing their content,
Absolutely.
because it's hard to run a business, especially a dealership, with all the various different departments and whatnot, and then do all your social media. It's
a lot
difficult.
of moving parts.
Yeah. Have you ever had to completely rebrand or pivot the social presence of one of the 9 dealers? And what triggered it, and what were the results?
Well, I've been with Krause now since May of 2024, and when I got hired, they had never had a social media manager, which when I got here it meant that a lot of the accounts were just not, they weren't active, or some of them hadn't been created. So that was kind of my, I guess, examples of starting completely fresh and overturning what was being posted. Some of my Genesis accounts, which makes sense because they were newer dealerships, had like maybe 2 posts on them. So I made sure to not only include Genesis branded content, which is really great, and they're really good at giving it to us, but making sure that people saw the building, people saw the employees, people saw other customers, people saw the models that we had on the lot, people knew how to get there, things like that. So
Yeah.
whenever I kind of have to do an overhaul of an account, that's kind of where I start. And then it branches into there where I have managers come and ask me to post an ad, or managers have me post specific employees that have gotten
Yeah.
awards, or
Right.
they're new employees or things like that.
Right.
So it branches off from there, but I kind of just started a basis where it's like, hi, this is who we are. Here's how you get to us. Let us help you find a car.
Right.
Really
That's
establish
really
that
good.
voice.
Yeah, really establish the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Next category is this. This is talking more like about systems, efficiency, scaling. You know what I mean by scaling, like growing the presence of the dealerships, or how. And really, what I'm trying to say is, how can one human being do the work of a small agency? That's kind of what you're doing for 9 dealerships. So those are the questions I want to talk to you about in that category, because I think it is very interesting that you're handling 9 different dealerships. It's quite impressive, I have to say.
Well, thank you. I
So-
appreciate it.
I want to hear real talk. Real talk. How many hours a week does it actually take you to run a high-performing social media platform for 9 dealerships, and what tools and systems are absolutely non-negotiable for you to stay sane?
Well, I make sure that since I'm posting, I've split up my posting to make sure that I get everything I want in a week. I make sure that I do my posting first thing in the morning. I have it planned for the week, usually on Sunday night, Monday morning. Some weeks, if it's a little chaotic, it's kind of done as I go. But I make sure that I post first thing in the morning. So by 10 o'clock, my posts are out. That way, if I'm doing other organic content like TikToks, Reels, videos like that, I can kind of sprinkle that in as I go. At first, it was, I'm going to post X, Y, and Z, and it's going to be a structured thing. And it was like, no, it needs to be more fluid than that, because people will come to me with ideas and things that they want. And I have to make sure that I leave room for that, and just leave room for creativity as well.
Right.
I have a camera with me at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one camera, and she's no longer with us. She was really beat up after being in the parking lots
An
for
old
a while.
camera. What kind of camera was it? Do you remember? I'm kind of into that.
I had a Canon. And she did me 5 good years, but it was time to trade her in. So I just got a new camera, which I've been really excited about. But that's in my bag at all times.
Yeah, what did you get?
I got a Sony.
Sony.
I love it.
Okay.
It's an A6400.
Okay.
I love it. It's great. I need to get a different lens though, because I want to be able to kind of like put it in my bag as I go instead of having the long lens.
I gotcha.
But that's gotten great photos for me. I take photo video on that. Always have my phone. I'm always reachable by my phone. It's always ringing.
Sure.
My parents, when I'm with them, they're like, people don't know that you're at home. And I'm like, no, they don't. They're going to call me whenever they want.
Right.
And then that for gear and things like that and what's non-negotiables, I would say that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I also always have my hard drive with me.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of been my saving grace, because I have, hundreds of thousands of pictures I've taken. Bet. So making sure that those are all in a safe place so that I can go back to them.
Right.
But just making sure that I'm staying within communication. I think that's kind of a non-negotiable, is making sure that I have everyone that I can contact right there and that they can contact me.
Yeah.
Because besides the social media, I also do all of the reviews for the stores. So I make sure that if there's an angry customer, which happens often in any store, and they've said something that we need to fix, it's immediately fixed. It can get turned around and done. Yeah. So I think communication's my main non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the one thing that keeps me sane.
Once again, I know they're thrilled to have you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
In terms of your content workflow, your creation content workflow, editing videos and all that, are you personally shooting? I think you are shooting everything, but are you doing all the edits to the videos yourself, or do you have a built-in system with like salespeople that assist you with that, or a BDC reps, or do you have anybody freelancing that you pay to help you do stuff, or do you do it all yourself?
I'm a one-man show. I'm a one-trick pony,
wow.
That's for sure. Okay. I do all of my own video editing for the most part. I use Final Cut Pro.
Okay.
I learned in college, and I absolutely love it. Each dealership does have an ad agency, so it's a third-party ad agency that also helps with more on the paid social side, I would say. So all of those big, corporate ads and things like that, we have an ad agency for that. Good. I help onboard all of them.
I see.
But for the most part, they handle the kind of like big marketing type things.
Okay.
I'm more on the smaller, more organic scale, just to kind of maintain brand awareness.
Right.
I think that's always what I say, is just making sure that people know who we are, know where we are, that kind of thing. Okay. And that our reputation is great, our reputation management.
Right.
We have a third party for them as well, but I also kind of just manage that to make sure that nothing's falling through the cracks. And
I see.
Going in with personal messages, because sometimes it is a team that does it, but you want to hear from somebody who's actually at the dealership. Right. So making sure that the reviews are answered and not just given, a chat GPT answer.
Right. That's true.
Can't have that.
That's very true. You can't have that.
No,
that's right. All right. Next question. How do you handle community management and messaging across 9 Facebook pages, 9 Instagram accounts, etc., without letting leads fall through the cracks? In other words, if someone on Instagram says, "Hey, I'm interested in buying an XLT, who do I call?" If you're managing 9 dealerships, I'm sure you're getting that, right? You're getting those kind of messages. How do you handle that?
For Facebook's our largest audiences. For Krause Family Ford, we have over 2,500 Facebook followers. It's always been that way. I think that more people just know how Facebook works, so they're more towards that. We don't have as many leads as you would think on Facebook.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think that it can sort of be a passing, like, oh, that car's pretty, I like that, or, oh, what do you have this model? So those questions are of course answered. But as for leads, people want to do their research. That is a big thing that I've learned about customers, is it's very rare that a customer comes in not knowing what they want.
Right.
They've been
They already
on
have
the
an
third-party
idea.
websites. They've been on Carfax. They've been on Carvana. They've looked at dealership reviews. They come in knowing what they want.
Is the ad agencies, are they paying for
for
paid leads?
I don't believe that any of our Georgia stores are paying for Facebook leads.
Okay.
That would just be an additional thing to add on besides paid media. We pay for...
In your opinion, do you think paid leads or pay, like when you
From
pay
Facebook.
for Facebook, do you think it's worth it, the money, or do you think it's not? What do you think's better?
It would definitely be something I would be interested in just kind of test driving and seeing what would happen and putting a little money towards it. I don't think that if people, let me put it this way, for people who are interested in buying a car via Facebook, they go to Marketplace. People love Facebook Marketplace. I mean, besides getting furniture and random items from Facebook Marketplace, they will type in a car model. So I know.
So they actually do search for vehicles on Facebook Marketplace. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Facebook also allows an offer. I guess when I say lead, they allow an automotive lead option, but it's not anything that our stores pay for. We do have, I think, at almost every single dealership, at least this one salesperson or sales manager that posts on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
So they list new used cars on Facebook Marketplace, a chunk that they're allotted by their manager, put all the information on there, how to contact them. And I have quite a few salesmen that sell cars from Facebook Marketplace. So I think that lead generation makes more than, activated lead generation through Facebook itself.
I got you.
And just like a comment like, I'm looking for
like a comment,
a Tremor, or I'm looking for a Mustang GT, things like that.
Right.
They would go to Facebook Marketplace and kind of dig around and sift that way.
In the past, I've owned companies and things, and I've struggled with that. Whether or not to put the money toward an ad on Facebook. Some people swear by it. Some people say their whole business thrives because of ads on Facebook and Instagram, and I know TikTok has got a different audience, and
TikTok
I've seen
it's a monster in and of itself.
Yeah, I've seen some interesting ads, to say the least. Like big companies doing really weird things just to get attention for their brand. Have you noticed that? Have you seen some of that?
Absolutely. It's all about the algorithm.
Yeah.
The TikTok algorithm is something that could have its own study done, because everyone's is completely different, but it just knows exactly what you're looking for. I mean, you can even be thinking it, and it seems like it pops up on your algorithm.
It does, doesn't it? It seems that way.
Yes.
It's very strange.
For me being so automotive heavy as I am all the time, my social media is constantly with, Carfax, Kelley Blue Book ads, things like that. So I get the big companies, and I'm always getting those types of ads.
Yeah.
But posting, I'm not quite sure how lead generation from TikTok works. It's something that I've looked into. Again, I think it would kind of go back to Facebook leads and paying for it that way.
Yeah.
I think that each of my dealerships kind of sticks to the Facebook Marketplace of it all. They just prefer it. It's free. They don't have to really pay for it, and the things kind of promote themselves.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
It kind of works out that way.
Yeah. Next question is, do you have any automation or batching hacks that you use that most dealerships, social media people aren't doing? You have any tricks that you're doing or anything that you're doing that you would be willing to share that you think is working well for the dealership, or things that save you time because of this trick? Do you have any tricks or any hacks or anything like that? Do you have anything like that?
I would say number one is hashtags. I know it sounds, people, especially in my demographic, they're like, hashtags are so weird. Like, why would you do that?
So explain hashtags, because maybe some of our listeners may not know what you mean by hashtags. And I'll be honest with you, up until a couple of years ago, I'm like, what's a hashtag? Why would I want that? What is that?
So a hashtag is something that I'll just use Instagram for an example. So on Instagram, when I post a post, I do a series of hashtags at the bottom of the caption. They're kind of spaced out so that you can read the caption and then see the hashtags if you want to look at them. They're not necessarily for the viewer to see and look at and be interested in. It's more about the algorithm. So I hashtag the explore page, which if you go on your Instagram is the area where all of the random explore, and you can kind of explore and look through. People's explore pages are very personalized to them. So I generate it through there, and FYP is also something that I hashtag, which means for you page. So then that goes into things that are targeted for you. So it also kind of correlates into your TikTok as well. It's all very interconnected. And I make sure to add hashtags for each store. So each store has their own hashtag. So for example, it's hashtag Krause Family Ford. It's all one word. And then for the auto group, I did hashtag Keep It Krause. So each of my posts has the dealership hashtag, Keep It Krause, Explore page, and then For You page. And it just circulates it. It allows it to be seen by more people. It allows us to just get randomly on people's Facebook pages. I know that I have friends who are always telling me, they're like, oh, I got another Krause ad. And it's like, because I'm friends with them on social media and I'm being the one posting all of these things, it circulates through their Explore pages.
I see. So
it's just like a big spider web.
A spider web, yeah. It's a spider web.
So the more places that you can get it circulating, the better.
Yeah, I got you.
So I would say hashtags are really important. I know people think they're corny. They can be. They used to be corny in 2016, but now they're the way that businesses can promote.
So they're actually integral now to success. Is there anything else?
I would say for most of my dealerships, in the beginning, I just didn't know what to post. I was like, cars, like that's it.
Yeah.
So what I started doing is batching and doing different designs for certain kinds of content. So for example, is at both of my Ford stores, we try and hit heavy on used cars. So going on to our inventory, seeing the used cars, and then creating social posts for the used cars. But the Krause Family Ford one looks different from the Angela Krause Ford one. It's all the same content, it just looks different.
Looks a little different, I see.
So I've kind of tried to batch it into categories.
Okay.
So it allows me to use it, but also make it have the twist of each dealership on it. So that helps me a lot. So on my Canva, it has it broken down into the type of content it is.
Yeah.
And then it'll have it for the Mercedes store, but it'll have it for Ford as well. So it's just, I can kind of scroll and play around with it.
Now Canva, explain to our listeners what Canva is.
Canva is my holy grail. I wouldn't be nothing without Canva. It is an online design platform. It's essentially a dumbed down version of Adobe. It's user friendly. It's super easy to use. More people, I think, use it than Adobe just because Adobe is so complicated. But that's where I do all my designing. I do a little bit of video editing on there if I need to. Like if I make a video with pop-up tags, I'll design the tags in there and then put them into Final Cut Pro. And then I use it for personal use as well.
Yeah,
So I use it for everything.
I got you. Okay. Next and last category, by the way, you're doing such a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing such a good job. Next category is results, creativity, and war stories, maybe. Got any war stories? Okay, here we go.
Sorry, there you go.
What's the single post or campaign from one of your 9 dealerships that's performed the absolute best? Walk us through the idea, the numbers, and why you think it crushed it. What was it? What kind of ad was it, and why? Why did it do so? Why was it successful?
Well, I think when we do community outreach things, those always do the best because it, again, using hashtags, it circulates into different people's accounts and onto their For You page and Explore pages. So people are like, oh, that's an event happening in my area. I'm going to go and support Krause Family Ford and do that. So I think that those always do really big numbers. They do really big views. It's super convoluted nowadays because people won't like things. People used to base everything on likes, and that was the big thing. It's like, oh, I got 100 likes on something. Nowadays, it's more just based on views because we're all doom scrolling. I mean, endless hours on our phone. I know I'm guilty of it, where sometimes I'll look at stuff and I won't have not even liked it. I've gone through 4
You may
posts.
actually like it, but you're not going to necessarily take the time to push the like button.
Press
right,
that heart
right.
next to it. So our outreach stuff does really great numbers at all of my stores. Every time we have an event, and then seeing those people show up for the event is really rewarding.
Do you think it's because it's real content? It's really true, authentic, non-AI generated content?
Absolutely. I think that corporate ads have the tendency to just absolutely get scrolled by.
Yeah, if I see something like that's advertising a product, I don't necessarily want to watch that.
And you're not the only one.
Yeah, I just blow past it, But if it's an event, or if I see somebody doing something interesting in the context of a business or something, I'll stay around and watch and see if it catches my attention. Right?
Yeah, people especially when you're on social media and it has that little promotion thing underneath, people are like, oh, I don't care. Because if you click on it, then you get generated more ads for that, which also is kind of a double-edged sword, which people are now understanding is happening to them.
Yeah, so they don't push the find out more information button. Yeah, no. They don't do that. Yeah.
If they're buying a car and they're on a website, then yes, because then they will, want to get information about the car. But for social media, not really. But those always do the best. I think it's just because it's real. For example, I did a delivery a few days ago. A gentleman, he's a racer. He bought a 2025 Mustang GTD. It got delivered to his work, came off the truck, brand new. We had a Mustang rep there. It was amazing.
What kind of dollars? I think you told me how much that vehicle was.
Like over $1 million. It was insane.
So that one's probably going to get a lot of views, isn't it?
It got a lot of engagement.
Yeah, I bet.
I was showing people around the dealership too, and they were like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things, when it's just super unique, people like that. Yeah. They don't want to see the same old pictures of cars. Right. Of course, it's important to have content on your page.
Sure.
So that's kind of a necessary evil. But
do you think something going viral and is based upon the uniqueness of that ad? Do you think that's the basis of it? And have you had anything go viral of your ads? Have you had anything do really, really, really better than you thought?
I think that the virality for Krause Auto Group has been on TikTok mostly. I try and do... It all started because I made a TikTok account and I was kind of sheepish about it. I didn't want to ask people to film TikToks because they were like, oh, you're going to put me on video. I don't want to. And I've gotten over that now because I'm just like, okay, you're going to get in this TikTok and we're going to do this. And okay, I'm recording. Just bottom line. But we started doing it at our Hyundai of Kennesaw store. We had a general manager over there, or our used car sales manager actually. He reached out to me and he said, I really want to start filming TikToks. And I said, okay, great. So every Friday we film at least 2 to 3 TikToks. And over time, we just started gaining followers. Other auto groups were copying our content.
Really?
Absolutely.
So other folks started seeing, because they were watching us, they want to see what we're doing to compete, right?
And of course, we're getting a lot of ideas from scrolling on TikTok and seeing what other auto groups are doing. Right. Because automotive people love TikToks. They love auto TikToks.
Yeah.
And so I think that with that has been our most viral.
Yeah.
We had one that got I think it was 700 likes and it got 36,000 views.
Wow, that's a lot. That's why.
Which it just takes that little thing.
Just something unique. Yeah, something unique and special, not AI generated, right?
So yeah, you have more of the chance to go viral and have something really blow up on TikTok just because it's that instant gratification of people oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, funny. Yeah. So what's the biggest misconception about that owners or dealership general managers would have about social media in 2025? Do they have an idea that is not correct? Have you ever run across one of your 9 general managers that have this idea about social media that is just not going to work or something?
General managers, especially automotive general managers, they want instant gratification. They want whatever I post to be absolute gold and it's going to bring in 1,000 customers. They're going to sell 100 cars in a week. That's just not how it works. You have to gain rapport with your customers and with your audience because
it's a long growth. It's planting the seed and waiting for the seed to generate something, right? That's what social media really is.
Absolutely. It is. It's just a tedious process. I mean, you look at other businesses that have built up and they're not getting 500,000, viewers and followers in one night. It's not happening. I mean, maybe if you're super famous, we're a small auto group in the Southeast, so we're not going to amass this huge following overnight. And I think that they want it done now. That's how automotive managers are.
Yeah.
They want it done because a car sale is super seamless like that. The customer comes in, they either buy the car or they don't, and you move on. And social media is just more of a long, drawn-out process.
Yeah, that's true. It's a long, drawn-out process. It's like planting seeds in a garden. You have to water it, you have to wait,
Absolutely.
you have to let it do its thing, and then it's going to yield a crop eventually. And I think community development is the same thing. It's not a quick thing, but as you get out into the community and you're filming various different events that Krause Family Forward or whoever, whatever they're doing, over time that begins to develop a unique following, doesn't it? Because people think, oh, they really care. They care about the community. They care about, I think I want to do business with that family forward because they care about the community, right?
Absolutely.
And that's in and of itself is an attractive attractive thing. So
I think that goes for the community outreach, but also for seeing camaraderie at the
Yes.
dealership.
Right.
I think that has definitely helped, and TikTok and Instagram have both done great things for that. I mean, at our Kennesaw store, we have people that come in and they're like, "Oh, you're the guy from the TikTok videos,"
Yeah.
and they'll make a sale
Yep.
like that because they saw the real them.
right.
They
That's
can
right.
trust them on
Right.
a human level.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and I think, like you said, the same goes for community development. Once
Yeah.
you see your car dealership employees out with people and helping the community and being present,
It's a big impact.
it's a big
u-
impact, and it's
unique.
usually a done deal. They're
Yeah.
going to want to do business with you.
Absolutely. I know it to be true. Yeah, I know that to be true. Here's a good question. If you had an unlimited budget, sky's the limit. Do whatever you want to do, Sydney, from just one of your dealerships, okay? What completely new thing would you try on social media that you haven't been able to do yet? What would that be? Unlimited budget. What would you do to spend that money?
That is a really great question. I genuinely never thought about that because I'm always just, okay, this is what I have. I'm going to work with what I got.
Let's just say theoretically, I said, Sydney, I'm going to give you $100,000 a month to do whatever you want to do for social media on a month. How would you spend that money?
I would probably boost every single ad we ever post, which boosting just kind of gives it that, I like to say it gives it that extra oomph of after you post something, you can boost it, I believe, for like 7 days afterwards. And it just recircles and recircles and recircles. Because it costs money to boost.
Yeah.
So I would boost, everything we post. And kind of break into parts of social media that we haven't that cost money. Like for what we were talking about with leads, developing leads on different social platforms. And I would use it to be creative in any way that I could, think of.
Do you think that TV commercials are something that can bring value, or do you think TV commercials are a waste of money?
I do not think TV commercials are a waste of money. I think they are incredibly beneficial.
In what way?
So when I first got hired at Krause, we had a different ad agency that was over all of the stores in Georgia, which was a little chaotic just because they had a lot of cooks in the kitchen. But they spent the money and did this amazing ad, and I was helping with all the production. I got all the cars to everywhere they needed to go. I made sure that if they needed an employee in one of the videos, I made sure all of that. But the final product came out, and it was just so beautifully shot and things like that, and it ran, and I had people coming up to me for a long time afterwards.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, I saw the Krause Auto Group ad, and it's that kind of thing. And the best way that I can think that they're beneficial is to this day, ever since I was a kid, I have Auto Group jingles and commercials that I remember. I know
that's funny that you said that, because I can remember jingles and commercials back when I was a little kid. And on my social media, there are commercials from the 70s. And, I can still say every word.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a jingle.
Absolutely. For not even for just cars, but for third-party accessories. And the one that's in my head right now is "Get your title back with Title Max." Just absolutely, just quirky and funny things that are on a TV ad.
Do you remember the ad, "Where's the beef"? That was probably before your time. You remember that?
That sounds familiar.
It was a Wendy's ad, and they had this old woman that was screaming at the guy at the counter, "Where's the beef?"
That sounds familiar.
And it was funny, and memorable. Or another one, I've fallen and I can't get
I've
up.
fallen and I can't
And you remember
get
that?
up. Life
I've
will
fallen
learn.
and I can't. You had this old lady on the ground acting like she had fallen, and
Absolutely.
you know. So I think they are effective, and I do think that but you have to have the right content.
You have to have the right content, and it has to be that thing that like is stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of companies that do excellent work with that.
Yeah.
I think that car and automotive groups, it's kind of fallen off just because people are watching more streamed media than they are cable nowadays.
Yeah, the cable TV services have definitely changed. I mean, I rarely watch cable TV now. I mean, I go to my Prime Video and I want to watch what I want to watch without commercials.
Absolutely. That's
Right.
the other thing
Yeah.
is people nowadays are
Yeah.
all of these streaming platforms give you an option to do with no commercials.
Yeah.
You just have to pay for it.
Right.
So they're like, well, why would I pay for cable if I'm just gonna, pay
Right.
for that?
Right.
So then that goes back into an auto dealership is like, well, why would I pay for a commercial if no one's gonna see it?
That's why. That's kind of why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Some people would think it's a waste of money. Some people do, based upon the changes that are occurring. I don't know what I think, honestly. I'm not sure.
It's interesting because
changing.
It changes a lot, and I think that at this time you would really have to have already had an established commercial kind of thing that
Right.
people remember
Right.
for you to continue to pay for it. If you're starting from scratch now to pay for a commercial, I don't really see the value in it.
Maybe
because-
Instagram would be a better place to put your money rather
And
than
that's-
like cable TV.
And that's what people are doing. They're feeding more of their budget into
So-
social
social
ads.
media.
Commercials on social.
Yeah, commercials on social media. Yeah, right.
It's feeding more into that than it is into a TV commercial. And that's not to say that it doesn't work, because it definitely does. It just might not work for today's audience. We just have such short attention spans that
That has changed too, hasn't it? I've noticed that people don't want to watch a long video.
I do 100%. I'm 100% guilty of it. When I have a commercial on my TV and I'm on my streaming platform, I will mute it and go on TikTok. That's so toxic. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, but that's what I do too.
I
I
mean-
mean, if I'm watching Fox News or something in the morning, I mute the commercials. I don't listen to that.
No,
Or I pause the TV and wait for the ads
yes.
to go away or to finish, and then I'll fast forward through the ads so I can get to the content that I want to watch.
Absolutely. I remember that's why we got a TiVo, because my dad
TiVo.
could pause it
Yes.
and then fast forward it
Right.
through all the commercials.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
So I think that TV commercials can be done really well, and they can be done beautifully and be done memorably.
But they have to be on the right platform,
They
don't
have
they?
to be on the right
Yes.
platform,
Yeah.
because cable and
Yep.
streaming services, it's a lot of money for not a lot of payoff.
Right. That's
So.
right. Last question. By the way, once again, you've done such a good job today. Thank you for
you.
being
I'm
with us.
so happy
Thank
to
you.
be
Yeah,
here.
it's such a good job. 5 years from now, what would you say from 5 years from now? What do you think the job of a dealership social media manager looks like, and how are you already preparing for the future across the 9 dealerships that you manage?
I think a lot of it is going to be automated.
Okay. Do you think AI is going to affect that?
I do think so. At times, I will use ChatGPT sometimes if I can't, especially with the amount of content I'm posting. Sometimes I can't think of a caption, and I'm just like, I have nothing creative to say. So I'll use that as kind of something to bounce my ideas off of. But at the end of the day, nowadays people can kind of tell if you use ChatGPT. So I think that 5 years from now, obviously a lot of things are going to be, that's automated. Oh, we automate that, so we don't need you, kind of thing.
Do you think this is a question I just literally am just thinking of.
Please.
Have you seen these Tesla robots with AI brains coming out? Have you seen any of that? So they're Tesla. They're actually robots that look like
I
humanoids,
feel like I have seen this.
and they have AI brains. Do you think that these creations could eventually take over your job?
I literally say, my dad has always said it. He's like, well, AI is going to take over. You need to learn everything you can about
Right.
it so that you can
Yeah.
get ahead of the curve.
And that's
So
what
at
I
least-
think.
At
I
least
think
you're
that's true.
educated in
Right.
it. I think that to an extent, yes, a lot of what I do can be automated, but I also think it loses that personal touch.
Right.
The
That's
personal
true.
touch of me typing the caption into my computer
Right. A human. Yeah.
is
Yeah,
very
doing it,
because, like, for example, a community outreach event, I was there. I,
Yeah.
felt the impact of it.
Yeah, we're
So
not going to have a robot there at the
we're not
community
going to have a
event.
robot there.
At least not next Tuesday, right?
Exactly. One of these days there might be a robot there with my voice coming through it, but we're not there yet. It's only 2025.
Right.
But I think that that it's that human touch.
Right.
If people don't have that, they can tell.
Right.
Well, I mean,
That's
I
right.
know when I was leaving college, ChatGPT came out my last semester,
Wow. Yeah.
and professors didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
And nowadays my brother is a junior in college, and he's like, oh, it's on lockdown. They know if you're using it. So I think that it's that human touch
Yeah.
of knowing when something's
Yeah.
real versus when something's fake.
Here at the studio,
Mm-hmm.
a new thing is occurring. This flows right into what we're talking about. AI is now generating really good high-level music.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, what does that do to the recording industry?
Yeah.
So we're going to have to figure out a way to implement that because it's not going away. So I guess in terms of social media, as things begin to change and develop, people that understand that, accept that, don't take it personal. That's just the way it is. Figuring out how to utilize AI in their content. Maybe 5 years from now, AI would be your number one tool in your toolbox, right?
Yeah.
To help you generate great content. So, well, thank you again, Sydney, for being with us today. Once again, this is Tim Gowans with Summer Street Productions. It's been a pleasure having you with us today. If
so
I can
much.
assist you with your podcast, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.